Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. All right. So, don't have to tell anybody whatsoever about the lies that come out with the statistics, figures, or whatever that the Biden administration keeps trying to shovel into the media and down our throats and tell us how great things are, right? That inflation is 5% or something like that, ridiculous. And we all know that's not true. That, oh, gee, there aren't that many illegals coming across the border when we know that's not true. And as everybody's keep on, tightening the noose around their family budget, going, crap, honey, how do we pay this week or this month? The Biden administration keeps coming up and saying, oh, but anybody can get a job if they want. Jobs are plentiful, right? How many times have we heard that? You go drive through town and you see, granted it's on fast food restaurants, help wanted signs all over the place. Apply now, yada, yada, yada. And many of you have told me, and I've heard from other sources as well, that the companies are thrilled to take applications, but they don't hire anybody, all right? It's all a directive from corporate to make it look like they're hiring, but they're not. So, of course, we hear all this, well, the unemployment rate's down to 4%, and that's so good. And, we're near full employment in the country, because full employment's about 3.2%, because there's certain people that just can't work, whether they're disabled or mentally incapacitated. I'm not talking about LGBTQ, they're just fruitcakes. All right. Or whatever reason. Full employment's about when we have about 3.2% unemployment. And Biden's saying, well, unemployment's at 4%, all's good. That's because of how they manipulate the numbers, like everything else. I want to give you this. Right now, there are 105 million, okay? It's almost a third of the country, unemployed, okay? Now, why do we say unemployment's at 4%? Well, the way the Bureau of Labor Statistics calculates unemployment. They've made it more and more restrictive to who's considered in the unemployment figures. Go figure. If the numbers don't look good, change the rules, all right? So what we have is the people that are supposedly actively looking for work. In other words, the ones that are collecting unemployment, because you can still be putting out resumes, but if you've already exhausted your unemployment benefits, you're not counted as unemployed anymore. So according to BLS, 6.1 million people are unemployed in the United States. Unfortunately, there's another 99.8 million people in this country who don't have a job who are eligible to go to work. So that means unemployment, the people that are unemployed in this country are near 106 million people, okay? Yeah, so unemployment is technically around 30%. That is Joe's economy. Trust me, I'm watching firsthand, not going to say with who, how, or anything like that, the difficulty in finding employment. I mean, sure, there's jobs out there. You've got 20 years experience, we'll pay you $40,000. Are you high? Okay, this is the thing. You're not going to pay entry level or below entry level pay and then expect somebody to come in with managerial, supervisory, director skills and lead the show. Look at what's going on at UPS right now. UPS is going on strike, guys. The deadline passed, okay? No deal. So end of July, no UPS. As of right now, that was what the deadline was. So we said, wait until Biden comes in and says, well, we're going to force these people back to work. Why? Well, UPS just posted record profits, and their idea was to lower wages. That didn't work too well for the people that work for UPS. I can't blame them one bit. Again, this is the Bidenomics, feudalism. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Okay. Something just to pay attention to. This is how our economy will collapse. Internally, it's not difficult. We don't have to start figuring out gammas and all this sort of stuff, watching stock market manipulation and everything like that. Look at the difficulty of people making ends meet. That will tell you simply what the future is for our economy. And as it gets harder and harder and harder, as we see food prices still high, as we see the real estate market, the commercial market's already in the midst of a crash, and the housing market is starting one. Okay. Sure, there's some areas that the housing market seems like it's booming. Tennessee is one of them. Okay. Why? Because people are leaving California, Illinois, Massachusetts, New York, whatever it is, and they're moving to Texas, Florida, Nevada, Arizona. There's some places where the housing market actually is booming, and other places it's going bust. The problem is we can't take the population of 50 states and put them in 25. That doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, it's just amazing that the red states are where people are moving to, and the blue states are the ones they're moving away from. But tell me how great Democrat policies are. Okay. So let's say you're not looking for a job. Let's say you're not looking to move. Let's say you've got your house, whatever it would be. What's coming next for you? Oh, I don't know. Is it getting hot where you are? I'm not talking climate change. I'm talking that anomaly that we rarely ever see called summer. Gee, there's a shocker. It gets hot in summer. Okay. Well, we now have the EIA report on the risk of electricity supply shortfalls for summer as it gets hotter. Remember all these stories when we have a heavy load, that ice storm in Texas for a few years. Oh my God, everybody needed electricity because it was cold. Same thing happens when hot. Instead of turning on a heater, you're turning on an air conditioner. I want you to look at this. This is the map by EIA of who could expect energy shortfalls, which means one of two things. Either the power goes out or your bill goes up. In Joe's economy, bills go up. That's just what happens, right? You are looking at 2/3 of the country, everything west of the Mississippi, forget it, okay, you're at risk. And then all of us in the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee River Valley, up in New England, we're all at an elevated risk for insufficient operating reserves if we get a heat wave, which is predicted that we're going to have hotter temperatures than normal in a lot of the country. Sure, there's a lot of people in the Gulf Coast, the Atlantic Coast, into Pennsylvania, even New York. You guys look like you're okay. Good, okay? But you know what's going to happen there? Just like happened in Texas a few years ago. We need you to send us electricity. And so they're going to start shipping it out to me, okay, because we have an electricity shortage. And my bills will go up and your bills will go up. We're all sharing. We're all participating in that communist ideal of everything is everybody's. And we all just get to pay more for it. Start looking at this about the potential for a very simple, basic economic collapse. And how are you prepared for it? You can't find a job, or you're not getting a pay raise, or they're laying off people at your job, so now you have to work more for no more money. The price of everything goes up, your food, your gasoline, whatever. Your electricity is short. Let's say you can't cool off. How angry do you get when you're hot? Probably, I know I do, okay, How angry do other people get when they're hot? Do they get angry enough to go into the streets of Philadelphia and kill 5 people? Maybe. It's a snowball effect. This is all 100%, no doubt. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Joe Biden's administration's fault. We shut down Anwar. We shut down fracking. We're shutting down nuclear. We won't use coal. we have no electricity, we have no jobs, the price of everything's going up. You know, look, gas prices are down. It's only $2.89 or whatever it would be for gas. Look how great Joe's done. Except gas was $1.70 here when on Trump's last day of office. Okay, yeah, Joe, it's up $1.10. Look, inflation's down from 9.1% to 5 point whatever it's at right now. Look how great Joe has done. Joe, you caused it to go to 9%. You can't take credit for solving a problem you caused. Okay? Face it, 100%, there is nothing to argue about this. Our lives in this country were drastically better. Everybody, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, straight, whatever. Everybody's life, every single person's life in this country was better under Donald Trump than it has been under Joe Biden. If you caught this one yesterday, Dr. Jill, that great education doctor, right? Okay, that's what her doctorate is in, education. She doesn't know how to put a Band-Aid on, but she's a doctor. Dr. Jill called Joe. I knew Joe would be the education president, right? They're grasping at straws, trying to find something that Joe's done right. Except math and English test scores for high schoolers are at the lowest level they've been since the turn of the century. So if bringing our intelligence for our next generation down is what you're called the education secretary, that's great, Joe. Okay, face it, you failed in education, you failed in immigration, you failed in economics, you failed in foreign policy. What the hell else? I mean, what are you going to tell me? Transportation, that Mayor Pete's doing a great job? Come on, okay? I challenge anybody, not only on this channel, I challenge any person in the country to debate me on one success that Joe Biden has had. One thing he has done that's been positive for the United States. I guarantee you there will be no takers. Pinball out.